If you're not getting sales, it could be because your designs suck. But when your designs don't suck, it's something else. Something that is silently killing your print-on-demand business. But here's the good news. This is fixable. And if you spend the next 30 days doing what I'm about to show you, you can fix 90% of what's holding your print-on-demand business back. And it all starts with this number right here. Your cost per click, or CPC for short. This isn't theory. These are all proven changes that lower ad cost, boost traffic, and turns browsers into buyers. These are tips and tricks I've been sharing in my community for the last year to great effect. Here's what no one really explains. The number of people visiting your website down to a single equation. Your budget divided by your cost per click equals your traffic. That's it. So if you can't increase your budget, guess what? Your only move is to reduce your cost per click. And most sellers don't think about it like this. $100 a day with a $1 cost per click, you'll get 100 visitors to your website. Simple. With the same budget but a CPC of 50 cents, you just doubled your traffic to 200 visitors. Simply put, that's why CPC matters so much. And if you can't raise your budget, your only option is to lower your CPC. And I'm going to show you how. But I have to add this before continuing. None of this works without good design. A good mock-up or ad will not save a bad product. You need all the pieces to work together. But even with a good design, if your CPC is $2 instead of $1, you're getting half as many chances to make a sale, and it really adds up fast. So let's break it down, what actually affects your CPC and how to lower it. Most people will just say, oh, just lower your CPC, it's easy. But they have no clue what's actually making it go up. Well, here's how it's calculated. CPC equals CPM divided by CTR. Now, don't worry, we're not going to get super technical in this video. It's not necessary. Just think of it like this. CPM is what Facebook charged to show your ad to 1,000 people. It stands for cost per milli. CTR is how many of those people actually click. It stands for click-through rate. And CPC is the final number. It's the final number that you're paying per click, and it stands for cost per click. So a low CTR can lead to a high CPC. But you know what else can? A high CPM. And this is where it gets interesting. If Facebook thinks your ad is low quality for whatever reason, it might look spammy or confuse people, or maybe people just scroll right on by because it doesn't stand out. All of that can lead to a higher CPM. Facebook are effectively saying, sure, you can run this ad, but it's not the best, so we're going to charge you quite a lot for it. So even if your click-through rate is half decent, a bad CPM can wreck your cost per click. So how do you fix that? Well, let me show you. And it all starts with your mock-up. Mock-ups are not just a nice thing to have to make your website look prettier. They are the face of your ad. They are the most important part of your ad, obviously not including the design. They're what Facebook sees, and more importantly, they're what everyone else sees. People will make a judgment call instantly based on your mock-up. So if you're using generic Printify mock-ups or something low effort like that, please stop. You need to put in a lot of effort, care, and attention into your mock-ups. Let me give you an example. We tested 2 ads, the same shirt, same design, different mock-up. One had a clean flat lay with a big t-shirt and a big clear design with very good quality accessories on the side with thoughtful colors, all to encourage people to click shop now. The other was a wrinkled flat lay with random 3D accessories that didn't really fit the flat lay, and the overall shirt didn't take up the whole image. It was small, leading to the actual design on the shirt also being small. The same audience, same targeting, and you can probably guess what happened. The first well thought out mock-up got a CPC of 52 cents. The other was $3.27, more than 6 times more expensive, meaning that with a $10 budget, I could have either gotten 19 clicks or 3 clicks. A huge difference to your business. And all because I spent more time on the mock-up trying to make something Facebook would like, people would like, and ultimately people would click. So the mock-up is doing a lot more than you might think. A lot more. In a way, it's not just about convincing the customer to click, you're also convincing the algorithm to charge you less. But even with a perfect mock-up, if the design doesn't connect, you're still in trouble. I can't stress this enough. None of this works if your design isn't doing its job. It doesn't matter how cheap your clicks are. If no one wants the shirt, you won't sell it. You won't make any money. A great design triggers emotion like humor, nostalgia, identity. They're also easy to read at a glance, and the reaction you get from people would sound like, "That's so me," or "I need to tag my friends with this," or "This has my friends written all over it." This is why I spend a huge time on my channel talking about design. It's also why I built a community dedicated to creating better designs and best-selling designs, because people think if they just fix their ads, they're good to go. But it's not the case, and you'll be forever burning money if you don't understand what designs customers actually want to buy. Bringing it all the way back now to the cost per click here. Say your design is great, your mock-up is great. You've then got your copy and your offer. Now, from my testing, the copy hasn't made a huge difference, but it definitely plays a part. More so the offer in your copy. For example, our most popular copy says buy 3 and get the 4th free. That's our offer and our copy, and it works so well for us. Another incredible copy that works really well for us is just new drop released. Shop now, get X amount off. That also works really, really well for us. And we have tested a lot of different copies to see which one gets a lower cost per click. All with the same design, the same mock-up. The only differentiating factor was the copy. And copy is like the text. You want to test different copies to see what resonates with your audience. Likewise with your mock-ups, you want to spend a very small amount of money testing a lot of different mock-ups. We personally tested over 100 mock-ups to find our winner. That now gets us clicks under 50 cents. Now it's all about just making sure people like the designs and giving them an offer that they just can't refuse. Okay, let's say you've done that now. You've tested mock-ups and copy. You're working with good designs and you have finally achieved a low cost per click. Is the job done? No, not at all. You've now got a bunch of people landing on your website, but you don't yet have the sale. That is a website conversion problem, and one we simply can't forget. Cost per click gets people to your site. Conversion rates decides whether or not they buy. If we have a 50 cents cost per click and a $50 budget, we'll get 100 visitors to our website. That's awesome. That's really, really great. If our store conversion rate is 1%, that's only one sale for those 100 visitors, meaning one sale costs around $50. Now, if we can get our website to a 3% conversion rate, we have suddenly tripled our sales, all without spending any more money on ads. So how do we improve our store's conversion rate? How do we go from that 1% to 3%? Well, the first thing we want is a super clean and simple website. Something that will be easy to navigate. You want your add to cart button to stand out. You want your mock-ups to match the ads so people can see the continuity and they're not shocked by anything. You want to avoid distractions on your site that aren't leading to the ultimate goal of getting a sale. We keep our site really, really simple. We keep our collection page organized by bestsellers, as those are the ads getting the most clicks. We make our add to cart and purchase button a bright color that contrasts the store's normal colors so that it actually stands out and people spot it immediately and click it. And at the end of the day, you can tweak your store for eternity. Just make sure that when you make a tweak, you allow it to be tested. Don't change something, then 20 visitors later, change it again. Let it do its thing with a good amount of visitors to the website. And then the last thing you can do is increase your AOV. And this stands for average order value. So before we discussed the conversion rate on the store being 3%, meaning 3 orders for 100 visitors. Now, 3 orders doesn't necessarily have to mean 3 items bought. If you have a good store with a solid niche and similar well thought out designs, people might not just buy 1, they could buy 2 or 3 or however many they want. So 3 orders or customers could actually be 5 or 6 item sales. And for some orders, it could be even more. And all of this just gives you more leverage on your ad spend. So if you're spending that $50 getting 100 clicks with a 3% conversion rate, that's 3 orders, 3 customers, right? If it was 1 sale per order, that would look like $90 in revenue. That's around $30 a sale. And that's kind of what we charge. But if you could increase your AOV to 2 items per order, that same $50 ad spend and that same 3 orders become 6 individual items that you have sold and $180 revenue. A huge difference. And if you think these prices are insane and no one will pay them, I can tell you, people happily pay these prices. Not only do we get sales at these prices, everyone in our community that's getting sales is charging these prices as well. These are our own stores on Shopify. We are not worried about the competition like you would be on Etsy. So if we charge $30, there is no one right next to us in the marketplace charging $5 or $10 or $20. It's just our store. So when all the designs are the same price, people don't look at the price as a factor. So don't forget about the average order value too. That can make a humongous difference. So what can you do to properly action everything I've said in this video? Audit your designs, make sure that they are good, run a mock-up test and find a winning mock-up. This can take a little bit of time, and honestly, I recommend running this test over the weekend, a Thursday to a Monday. Don't rush this. A good mock-up can really save your business. You can then tweak some copy to find which resonates best with your audience. And then make small tweaks to your store once you've got a steady flow of traffic to slowly increase the conversion rates. Once you find winning designs, you can create similar designs to it, and that will increase your average order value. Because once you have similar designs that are, of course, different, but similar in the sense that they speak to the same emotion, they speak to the same audience, people will buy multiple things. Now, if I've made this sound easier than it is, I do apologize. That wasn't my intention. This can be quite a task, but a very worthwhile one if you are genuinely serious about building a real business. So if your store's been stuck, this is your roadmap. Fix your creative, fix your CPC, fix your conversion rate, and everything gets better, everything gets easier. Feel free to check out my community below. We delve deep into these topics and really help you make the most of your designs and your stores. So let's build real, sustainable businesses together.